But anyway, the reason why I'm talking to you guys today is I had a little bit of a situation today. So, just for some context, today is leg day. Now, anyone who goes to the gym consistently knows that leg day is most often the hardest day. It's the hardest muscle group to train. It's just a very big muscle. So, I mean, it's notorious in the gym community and just people who work out. It's notorious for being one of the hardest muscle groups to train. So, today's leg day. I'm on my way to the gym. I'm super tired. I really don't want to go train these legs because obviously legs are the hardest. It's a little bit repetitive. But I just came to this realization, and it came to me from the most random spot in my mind. I don't even know how I remembered it. So it actually takes me all the way back to third grade. Now you may be wondering, third grade, what the heck am I thinking about that from? So it actually goes to my old grade school, third grade gym teacher. I completely forget his name. I don't remember anything else. But I do remember, keep in mind, this is third grade, that he used to have this one saying that he used to repeat over and over again that just became apparent in my head, and it actually like presented itself as useful to this situation. And this realization, or this quote that he used to say is, "Don't cheat the body." So then I started thinking about that. I'm like, don't cheat the body. Does that mean leg day too? And as I kept thinking about it, my thought process went to, don't cheat the body as in you have to hit leg day. Well, of course, I'm already halfway to the gym, so I go to hit legs, and I really don't want to go to the hack squat. I'm walking over, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like mentally sighing, really don't want to hit this. But then it kind of hits me, right? I get this kind of realization. I'm like, what's the net positive of me not hitting leg day today? Like, what's going to be the outcome of me not hitting leg day? So I look to the future, right? Go into my head, imagine a future where I skip leg day completely. So I kind of put myself in this character's position of future Adrian who skips leg day. And the only thing I envision myself as being is someone who's a little bit more lazy and comfortable, and then someone who has chicken legs, which, if you ask me, is a really bad combination. I don't think anyone wants to have chicken legs and be lazy. But, some people don't like hitting leg day. So, okay, some people don't like doing that. Like, that's besides the point. Then I started thinking again. I'm like, this is just leg day, right? Leg day is hard, but what's even harder? I started thinking of things that are even harder. Okay, exams, talking to women, doing hard stuff, hard labor, working a job. And then it came to me. What if I can use the same concept of don't cheat the body, i.e. don't cheat the body, i.e. and don't put off this small short-term pain in order to have a future that's more comfortable. Like, this is, you don't want to avoid the pain now and feel the pain later. You want to have pain in the present, and you want to have the reward later. So I was thinking, I can apply this to so many other aspects of my life. For example, an aspect in my life, I started thinking about this, an aspect in my life that I've been cheating on is, for example, like washing the dishes, right? Or not washing the dishes, or excessively staying up late, or playing video games. These things are all fun in the short term, but over the long term, it provides a net negative in a way. It doesn't better my life in the long term. Then I started thinking, what if all of these aspects in life which I cheated on or didn't do to my full ability were actually completed, and I completed all of these tasks to my full ability, and I just did all of them. I didn't cheat on my body, I didn't cheat on my mind, I didn't cheat on those dishes that were in my sink, and I did completely everything that I was supposed to do. Instantly, I imagine a future with flying cars and super intelligent, advanced people. But that's besides the point. That's like if everybody wasn't cheating on their stuff. But for me personally, I think I envision a life of complete fulfillment, of me accomplishing my goals and everything that I want to achieve in doing these things. So nobody wants to be the person that cheats on their life. You know what I mean? You don't want to be average. You don't want to cheat on these things that you're supposed to do, because in the long term, it eventually brings a net negative in your life, and you really don't want that. But for the action step for this video, that's enough about cheating on stuff. For the action step of this video, I'm just gonna get a piece of paper here. Be right back. But this only requires like a piece of paper and a pen. But if you really want to take this to the next level, get a piece of paper, just like a blank one like this, and write down, like really think to yourself, like sit down without any distractions and kind of just stare at this piece of paper and think of like many different aspects in your life that you've been cheating on. And don't lie to yourself. You know you have at least one of these. And I know I do, and you know what I mean? And I've been consistent with many of my habits for a while now. So everybody has one thing at least that they've been slacking on. So just think to yourself, just sit there. You don't have to tell anyone. If you want, it's recommended if you tell a friend or like a close family member or something like that. That's fine. It even gives you a little bit more accountability if you do tell people like that, because then there's almost like this social pressure for you to go out and help it. But after you write down at least one or two of these habits, kind of pick out, like kind of almost rank them, like list the top one that's like super important that you really want to get done. And then after that, sit down with your paper again and almost try to think of a way, like an actionable step that you can do today or even tomorrow if it's too late today, that would help you to achieve that or better that. Like for example, if I really don't like going to the gym, right, my actionable step for tomorrow would be literally just to go to the gym and sign up for a membership. You already have the gym membership signed up, so that the next day after that, it's almost like you have a greater propensity to go out and go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like there's always something that you can do. For example, another one for video games, if you're trying to stop playing video games, do 1 day of reading, like 10 pages of reading a day, and then just keep everything else the same. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can go this. You can be creative. But don't feel excessively guilty as well if you miss a day, especially if you're new to self-improvement, mainly because you want to be patient with yourself, but really relentless on your goals. What I mean by that is it's okay if you miss a day or two, because, you know, life happens. Every day isn't perfect. There's going to be our ups and downs. But just know that if you stick to it in the long term, that eventually, if you keep doing these habits, it will be exponential growth. Like over time, you will see a drastic, significant change if you keep the right habits up. Especially if those personal goals that you write down on this piece of paper care a lot to you. You'll definitely see a lot of growth. But I like to end this video with a quote from Aristotle. And that quote is, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit." So if you really want to take your life to the next level, the main action step that you should do is reevaluate your habits. And like always, don't cheat on yourself and don't cheat on your diet. But most importantly, don't cheat your body. That's why exercise is super important. But without further ado, that's going to be my video here.